Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the state of my account for my main account, the Sunjita account. Don't always do updates for this every single month. It's kind of at an irregular schedule, just when I feel like I've done a significant amount or something big is coming up, or just something I want to discuss. I'm just about 14.5 million GP, which is insane. I mean, every character that comes out just seems like insane growth, and I actually just it took until now to realize that Datacron's gone. I need to actually substitute my team in for Squad Arena. Not that it matters too much. This account, it's not as dynamic and changing as the GoTanks account, but there are a few things I think are worth discussing. One, I'm going to show all the relics I've been working on since the last state of my account. I've been trying to keep track in some squad tabs. I might be doing something with Darth Vader Duel's End, because he is technically an epic marquee. I do have a lot of crystals, so I might open a few packs, see what I can get him to. I don't think I'll gun for 7 stars, but I might get a few. On this account, my era stuff is exactly the same as my GoTanks account. I was not gunning to get high up from the beginning on this either. And I don't like, this is one little thing I think they also need to just let me claim all of it. Why is it 10? It takes so long to get to the next reward level. Why give me just 10? It's pitiful. So yeah, everyone is just a pitiful 15 out of 30 on this account. When I really didn't have to do that. For a while, I've just been getting marquees to 4 stars anyway. Like I skipped Forlom and Zuckuss. For the ships, I can't remember if I skipped it or not, but I did finish off Buing recently. And wow, he's up there in the power level, 90,498. And I have my Relic Drogan. That's one of the more recent Relic upgrades I've made. Of course, a lot of these things you could notice by watching my Grand Arenas, but I'll try to centralize them today. Rogue One's getting there. I've been doing like 1 refresh each time. Honestly, like, it gets the job done either way. Right now, I'm really just playing to have be able to use it in TB. Other than that, ships, kind of stagnant, nothing new to work on there other than that. Character-wise, I just don't keep many favorites these days. I have these 2 because I'm farming them. And I am farming them very apathetically. I'll say, look, I only hit this once yesterday, and then Forlom, I think for some reason... No, I didn't refresh that. I don't buy my normal energy refreshes unless it's to farm characters. I will buy the Cantina. I actually don't buy the mod energy on this account either, just because I feel like I have plenty of mods, and even if I didn't farm another mat, I'd have enough to like make the characters I use all have really good mods, because the amount of characters you can use at one time doesn't really go up for Grand Arena at all. We just keep getting new characters, so it's like I can always take some off characters I don't really use anymore and beef up. Same with ship energy. I don't really spend on it. I just spend refreshes on it. Conquest energy, I've also taken my foot off the brakes a lot as well. So the beginning of this state of my account is to emphasize what all these things I'm not doing, and then I'll talk about what I have been doing. So another thing I haven't really been doing is we have these, as one of my viewers commented, called them Perfectocrons, and I like that. We have these Perfectocrons until March 16th. So we have them for another, I guess that's 2 seasons. Yeah, it expires 47 days, but that should be the 2 seasons. And then these expire April 13th. So not even a month after. So since these are going to be overlapping for most of the life of these, so there's going to be like 1 season where I have the blue ones and not the green ones. By the time these dust, they're not even going to dust into the next set. They're going to dust into the 2 sets removed. So we'll have this blue, we'll have another orange set, and then we'll have a purple set, which this will dust into. So I'm going really light on this one. Next one, my plan is to, between this and that, I'm not buying new data cache. But for the next set, my goal is to at least get data cache down to 0, because I already wasted a lot in the purple set dusting. There's so much here that's gonna dust, break down, and I will waste a ton of data cache on that. So I wish they would just remove the cap at this point. If they're going to screw us over with new sets every month, at least do us some solids, reduce the costs of things, increase the data cap cache, and all that. So I really have just not been trying hard at all. I've been doing 50 refreshes, or like the 50s. In 1 or 2 days at least, I just skipped. I was like, I forgot about Conquest. I was like, oh yeah, that exists. So it's like a soft boycott for me. It's just like not a try hard. And I did land. I mean, I haven't re-rolled these level 9s. I got 2 Hu Yangs, which I'm happy to get Hu Yang if I'm gonna get any. And I got decent stats so far. This one is, well, some armor pen and crit damage. This is crap, but I'm low on the mats. This one actually rolled out really well, and I haven't even got to like the 80 rerolls. It's crit damage and some armor pen. And then this one, like, is, you know, one of the better ones, honestly. The target lock doesn't really make a ton of sense when we got turn meter, so I'm glad. And it's hard. I've had to watch myself because it's really hard to not just reroll a stat and then just keep rerolling it because of this last set where we had infinite rerolls, but I have been able to control myself and haven't really wasted anything like that. So I'm not really doing era units. I'm not really doing conquest push. I mean, I'm getting the conquest unit, but I'm not really pushing for datacrons. I'm not caring about the new marquee. So what have I been doing? Now we'll finally talk about what I have been doing. So I have this tab here, recent buffs. So these are all upgrades I've made since the last time I did a state of my account. Got a lot of R7s, a lot of R8s, and a few R9s. So I actually do really enjoy that they opened up the spout a little bit on R9 stuff. And for like a newer small account, or like my mid-game account, it's not enough to like launch me forward into doing a lot of R9s. But for this account, it's like, all right, yeah, I could actually do some stuff that would definitely benefit from R9. But when it was so slim pickings, I never would have done it. Crew was one of those examples. I showcased him in the whole 5v5 season because think about him, he's actually pretty popular. Supreme Leader Kylo wants him, Malicos wants him, and he just doesn't go out of style. I have like all defense sets on him. I did mod him for protection, yes, and some people found that puzzling because, I mean, I don't think too many found it puzzling because they're like, oh, he's supposed to have his, don't you just care about his health recovery? And no, not really. Like in Kyber 1, he has protection recovery mechanics with Darkside Ray there now, so I just care about overall survivability. It's a lot easier to get protection than health, and he is a beast. And then like I was using with my Seer Malicos team more recently, so I had to build up my first order Stormtrooper, who is actually Relic 5 still. Like I had not touched him at all since Supreme Leader Kylo unlock. Gave him some okay mods. He would, I mean, he definitely benefit from R9, but I don't think I'm going to give First Order Stormtrooper R9 yet. I'm not quite there. But he's a decent substitute if I want to use Crew with Malicos, and I still need a tank for First Order team. And since it probably caught your attention, I'll just talk about Lord Vader. So Lord Vader, my second GL, R10, and I definitely wouldn't recommend this for everybody, but what I started to think about was, what are my failure points on this account for my GLs? And Lord Vader I've been using a lot for the Stranger, and the Stranger really gives him a run for his money. But Stranger or someone else, like, he is one that can have some failure points, so I just wanted to give him the most possible stats and biggest relative delta to work with. So I R10'd him. And when I thought of other GLs, Ahsoka is probably a better upgrade on paper. But when I use her on offense, she's not coming close to losing. And on defense, I mean, she was probably next on in my book. Ray is kind of similar like that. Like, people know how to beat her, they know how to beat her. JML is up there too, but it's, I mean, there's a lot of good choices. But I was just thinking, I've come close to losing a bunch with Lord Vader. I'll just get him. And honestly, I'm probably going to just prioritize GLs for a while. I don't need tokens on this account, so the Coliseum stuff is just for R10 stuff. And next era, I'm definitely going to go harder on this account. 4-star characters at least to start, and then just really just keep pushing it in the Coliseum and actually be able to unlock whatever the legendary is. I could have pushed forward. I could have made sure I got 4-star units every single marquee with this one and got Spider Legs Maul, but I was like, I'm not going to max them out. What good is a Relic 2 or 3 Maul going to be for me? We got a lot of the pirates here because last time I did a state of my account. I had either just unlocked Hondo or was like really close. Okay, it looks like I was close to unlocking Hondo, so I didn't quite have him yet. So yeah, I bumped up some of the pirates above their minimum requirements. Kind of like baseline Relic 7 for any that I'm using with Maz. Maz is 8, SM33 is 8. The whole Pirate King Honda crew is at least Relic 8. Vane, Bruce, Captain Silvo. And Maz kind of stopped at R7 because I thought, there's probably bigger fish to fry. Although, definitely wouldn't be a bad investment either. Kyle Katarn's Relic 8. He's still very relevant. He's got his ship. That's actually really important right now on defense, and he goes with Saul a lot, which sees a lot of play. Fifth Brother, I did it just because I had platooned something in TB and I wanted to do the special mission. Maybe I used Merrick somewhere, and I was like, because he's my 5th usually. I don't have the Omicron, but he's still my 5th on that Reva team at R8, but I was like, I just want to make sure I get that, so Fifth Brother up to R8 for that. Resistance Hero Poe, Rose, and Finn. So that's all part of that same Zori team. There are 5 still, which, they still do pretty well with Relic Delta and the damage they do, like offensively, because they rely a lot on exposes, but they're just way too flimsy and not really usable. So I was like, I need to make sure they're at least not melting so fast. So Relic 7 was fine for them. Morgan, R9, this has been a character I wanted R9 for a while because she's a great tank. She's on a super relevant team. And I don't have her built for like super speed. She's kind of fast, but like that's a lot of HP. 133,000 health, 148,000 protection. Not really tenacity build or speed build, but yeah, she can take the hits, which is awesome. Pause, another great tank. I was just going through thinking of what tanks do I wish I had R9, but have just been sitting at R7 or R8 because there's too many other priorities. And Pause is up there, 145,000 health, 127,000 protection. R9 tanks are just so much better than R7 or R8 tanks. With Relic Delta in more ways than one. I mean, they definitely came out on top in a way that I wasn't fully expecting. I was thinking the damage dealers would still come out better. But if everyone else has the good Delta, like, it just falls back to the stats. And in Kyber 1, it's kind of like that. And then the most recent upgrade was 5. So 5s has been Relic 7 for me for a long time. He was actually a really early priority for me, even back in like 2019, because of that sacrifice. And actually, let me pull up. This is an old account of mine, my OG Sanjita account. Last activity, 2,076 days ago. And this account does have relics. There's not many, but one of the relics, the high relics, is... Oh, those area units. I was like, why isn't it loading? Is 5s. Like, so I had a Relic 7, Darth Revan, GK, Grandmaster Yoda, Anakin, and then 5s. So for a very long time, 5s has been a really important character. And this account that's now 14.5 million had one more relic level on 5s than this super old account. This was not... I didn't have him set up super well. It was mainly protection. That was part of a raid team. Like, with my clones, I was able to do most of Phase 2 and into a good chunk of Phase 3 with my 5 first clones under Shock T. Ancient raid play. I mean, ancient Sith raid for sure, but it's like, that's like so old now. His modding, I mean, you could make fun of it. It's not great. Like, 4 health mods, 2 defense. Split between health and protection. Speed, okay, I guess, for not having any speed set. Like, he's got a little bit extra offense. I mean, I was just trying to stuff him with stats to pass off to the rest of the 501st under General Skywalker for taking out Hondo. And, I mean, I think for that purpose, it's fine. And he's not, like, melting really easily. But now he's Relic 9. I still haven't used him in Grand Arena in this form. But, yeah, he's Relic 9. And he... I mean, he deserves it. So this has been all the updates from Relic since last time, which was November 2025, or November last year. So almost, probably 2 full months actually has gone by. So that's plenty of time to get all this stuff. And I started, like, I was interested to see where my equilibrium would fall with relic materials. So I have gotten to a huge stockpile with like pre-R8 stuff. So just for an example, 330 Zimbittles, 439 Electriums, 757 Erodiums, Erodium heat sinks. Chromium transistors are always high. And then signal data is still kind of like the holdup, but it's kind of like a synchronized holdup with the R8 mats. So for a while, I actually was thinking I might get to a point where I'm bottlenecked on Electriums and Zimbittles, because I was just like buying them with this, because, well, actually I need to buy some stuff now. We finished a raid, and I didn't really pay attention or notice that we finished it. I thought it was still going, but I was like buying just with this, and then I wasn't able to keep up with my own demand. I was like, oh, I need so many. I have over 2,000 of these, just insane. And I do still like have need. I should probably pick up like some of these Gear 12 Plus pieces. I start to get low on like the Gear 12 stuff. Like that's under 400, which sounds like a ton to most people, but it's like that's a sign that it's getting low. But I like for some reason forgot for the longest time. I just like wasn't scrapping, and then I thought, oh, let me just go see what I can scrap, and I crafted a bunch of fully crafted pieces and scrapped them, and then I got over like 300, and they kept buying shipments. I was like, okay, I will never really be hurting for Electriums again, as long as the Zimbittle, or not the Zimbittle, the Impulse Detector and Arrow Magnifier issue keeps up. The keypads and droid brains are also getting there too, so like I am back to a point where R8 and R9 upgrades are the ones that are a bit of a task. R10 doesn't feel that bad, honestly, because you don't need the light blue signal data. You need this, but that's probably like a raid and a half for me, or like a raid plus some scrapping. So basically, once I get to 20 of these, and I just buy them in the largest shipment that they have, I'm almost there for like a 10. As soon as I get that, it's like, okay, time for another R10. Let me actually work on the signal data. It's not a great conversion rate with this, but it's an option. I don't think I've actually done it, but so that's really bad actually. So I much prefer to buy it with the raid rewards. That's a much better route for me. I guess I can just buy a couple just so I feel a little bit closer there. Arrow magnifiers, man, there was a point where I thought I would never ever run out of these, because I had like 600, and I just didn't think I'd already that many characters to use all of them up. But that was from the Challenge Pit raid days where they just piled up. But man, that day came, and that's the bottleneck, which I'm fine with. That's the bottleneck. That's the one we're working with. So it shouldn't take too long. Like now that I'm stuck kind of at R8, and then I might be able to outpace with my signal data farming, because I also just farmed that ship in Cantina. So I wasn't even farming signal data for a while because I was farming this ship. And I still have enough to like do an upgrade. So I think I can get a full R7 squad. Or R7 usable roster soon. So the Tuscans, it's afterlock for Grand Arena. I guess if I thought about it, I should have probably R7 Chieftain and Raider, because they can make a good team. And these are just like not super high priority, but they're just characters I thought of that I do use, so I probably should bump up to R7. And there's only 7 people on this list right now, so like I feel like my account is an embarrassment of riches, because I'm like, yeah, I just don't have any need. And that's why this account isn't quite as interesting as GoTanks, because GoTanks is like, oh yeah, I can do one upgrade. I did one upgrade this week, guys. It's a game changer for me. But this is just like, all right, everything, most of what I want is R7 and up. But here's some other things. Admiral Akbar, I guess he probably deserves a little bit more respect now because his ship actually gets used. But to be fair, this ship is like the best ship to not need anything for itself. I mean, other than speed, you don't care about his damage because its alt is all right, little ships. All right, fleet, go forth and do what you do best. This is all about the assisting allies. Doesn't matter. This heal has nothing to do with the ship stats. This is all about the assist. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, let me know. I try Relic 7 my Akbar. Just take a look at the screen. Tell me who I need to upgrade. Who's way too low R3. I don't care too much about... Well, so Zeb is a pilot. So there's an argument. I need to grasp at straws. And oh, by the way, they reworked Mission. And if you had the Zeta on her, it transformed into a TW Omicron. So she will go with Satele Shan when she's here. And in TW, you know, I don't usually apply a ton of TW Omicrons, but I have a free one right there. I actually built up my TW Omicron collection a lot with that because I framed it as I felt nice. I finished all my Stranger Omicrons. I had a couple sitting there. I think I'll have time for Satele. I don't like doing TW Omicrons, and I think we'll go out of style. So, like, if there's any chance something will just sit the bench, it's like, no, not gonna do. But Ahsoka is one of our newer GLs. Not all GLs have TW Omicrons for their teams. There's 2 here, but this is one of the single best TW teams in an evergreen sense that we have. Like, so... you know, Datacron's ebb and flow, what's good, but this is a team that's going to be there for the long haul. I have it built up really well, so I just gave them both the Omicrons. There's, you know, some that are great. I don't have Great Mothers. Omicron, there's unique. I just have the lead, which is good, but again, I don't have any kind of urgency with TW Omicrons, so I just see it as... If I decide to do it, I do. I'm not gonna like apply a ton of TW Omicrons because it's just kind of a drop in the bucket. And like on offense, I get things done without them anyway. So anyway, back to the bottom of the roster. Trying to think of what actually ended up. This is the actual part. Like, just I never thought this would ever happen. Like in this game where I just like a few Gear 12s. It's crazy. Tarful. I don't think Yoda and Chewie's really going to transform that team enough to matter. IPD sucks. Gamguard sucks. Ewoks. Nope. Don't care about them. Nope. Vet Han. Geos are old news. I'm not getting that on. I think Geos just aren't good enough. The Tuskens, I already covered that. You know, Armor already covered that. Sith Assassin, there's kind of an argument because she's got a ship and, you know, it would die less fast. But Sana, I think there's probably an argument. You use her sometimes. Pilots, any kind of pilot, there's kind of an argument. I don't really use Qui-Gon anymore, so like he definitely, if I was using him, he'd be an easy R7 pick. But I don't know. Pow is a pilot. Omega is, I don't even use OG Bad Batch anymore. So like, I mean, the Phoenix ships do get used. Is that something? It's just like not really a big thing. I mean, there's not too many. I actually do have a lot of R5 still, but there's just not a ton of ones that are super relevant. Troy probably needs to go up because I do have his Omicron. We do use him sometimes. Biggs, pilot. Holdo, pilot, also like crew, like a capital ship. And then I have very few R6s. First order officer could go R7, but I think R6 is fine. He's just a utility player. 6 is enough to make sure he doesn't get a -4 delta on anyone other than Relic 10. And after that, it's all R7s. Or at least R7. I have plenty of R8s. R9s. I think I'd still like try to focus on tanks. So Riva, if they gave her the actual stat boost that you should have with Relic 9, she would have been R9 a long time ago. Definitely deserves it, but no, just not feeling it. Vayne and Quiggold, actually, there's a great argument to do both of them, because those pirate teams are going to be viable for a long time. Bay's probably not. Plo Koon, definitely not. Phalanx, still probably not. I mean, my RA Gungans, I think, are plenty. Scion, no. Finn, kind of. There's an argument. I would hate to do it. JTR, there's kind of an argument for JTR. I mean, you can get a pretty tanky Royal Guard. Thankfully, I'm not one of those people that are R9 the Royal Guard, and I was rewarded by that version of the Lord Vader team getting obsoleted. Temple Guard, there's an argument for that for sure. Wrecker Mercenary, yeah, I think there's potentially an argument. I'm not big on it. So there's nothing jumping out the page other than Vayne and Quiggold where I'm like, oh, yep, gotta do it. That's next. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the next time I do a state of my account, I'll have a lot more stuff, or maybe I won't have upgraded too much at all. But I waited 2 months in between this time, and I did a lot of upgrades. I think I'm going to be trying to focus a lot more on R10ing my Galactic Legends. And I'm really going to be going hard on air stuff. Speaking of air stuff, let's actually get Vader built up a little bit. So, buy a couple of these gamble packs. So I actually debated pulling one of these, which is 12 cards, 13,000 crystals. I have plenty to do it. I just don't think I want to do that much. So let me do just 5. You need at least 3 to guarantee that you could do 4-star. But 5, it just feels like maybe I'll get lucky or something. And then I might decide, hey, I might push a little further. So I've actually never bought this. That's 1,200 per card. This is 12,990 divided by 12. That's 1,082 per card. So it's a better deal, sure, but this is still a better deal than that. And I just don't want to spend that many. So, 7777775. Okay. 12, that's a good one. 7, as predicted. 7. 5. I was close. I said 77775. All right. Well, that's why I don't really do these too much, because it's painful. But you get some little. Oh, I hadn't finished my dailies yet for today. I'm 45 minutes away from reset. Wow, that is an oversight. But yeah, you get little character quest stuff as you go along. So do I bump them up here? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be forcing everything next era. And then gotta make sure I remember to do this every day, which is, I used to forget sometimes. But it's a lot easier with that little red bubble all the time in your face. It doesn't go away until you actually do the event. So 5-star could start getting me things to actually build my teams up over level 70. But you know, I think it's too little too late at this point. I've kind of settled into not performing well in the Coliseum, and on this account I'm just really not super worried about it. But I can't upgrade him. Can I get him to 70? Yeah, I have plenty of stuff for 70. I have like overkill materials. I mean, 27,000 of this, I need 3250. 2100 of this, I need 150. It's just like comical how much stuff I had. So if I wasn't, and then the era currency, they started throwing it at us. So if I hadn't been, if I wasn't blocked at 65 with everyone else, everyone would probably be 70, at the least. Let's try him out. I haven't been pushing too hard on this. Ranks 106. 315 was my top score, 45%. I have 147, so I can probably beat that. I don't know who to replace because well, yeah, he doesn't have a lead. I like to keep IG lead because he has his contract that's actually a lot more attainable. And Dark Side helps contribute to it. So Luke and Yoda don't contribute to it. Kit-wise, I would probably get rid of Chewie if not for the Master's Training. Like, everyone gets Master's Training, which is enormous. Luke has his Mass Assist. On the Dryax, it's actually not that great because you want to keep them even. So I'm going to try not him. Let's see how that goes. I don't have a ton of healing. Barris and Yoda can do it. It just feels like not a ton of healing. But I think since he's level 70, I don't know if that helps get me over a hump with the like overall barrier. Like, it counts to your era level, overall era level, and then this is nice by him, that locked speed down. Put this on Yoda and Chewie so we can get around to his like foresights. So I don't like to do foresight when one of them has this roar, because the roar itself, it like gets evaded and then the damage doesn't. So like that would have dispelled it. Okay, hanging in there. Good. Double tap. It feels kind of slow. Okay, you still have the roar, but who's going first? I wish I had a way to identify which one of these was coming up next. It's like neck and neck. But okay, he's got the roar and the AoE. I think he'd probably prefer the AoE. Yeah, okay. Ugh, what a ripoff. Bye, Chewie. Still haven't gotten contract yet, but we're close. There we go. Okay, good to dodge. It's 10,000 from true damage for Vader. That's crazy. Oh, let's just hit both of them. I mean, I'm thinking, how did I get 45%? I think I must have got like one of the luckiest runs. He does a lot of true damage. That's what I'm noticing with him. Alright, he's the last man standing, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to play around with him to see what I can actually get out of it, but I am not pushing for a high bracketing. Like, I went from 106 to 102. This one actually was kind of hard to get through tier 6, even with level 65s. So I think it's just like by being in tier 7, I am put into that 90, 100 plus range, or like within that 250 easily. Even if I have a bad score. Rank 50 right now is... I gotta look at their area units. Yeah, 50 right now is all like people that have Maul. So I don't think I am gonna get too much out of it, but it's just like I want to start getting more shards of him because he is a character I could see being more useful because he's supposed to be an epic, an elite marquee. So getting him more shards early, and he's also the last one, so he's the furthest away from being farmable. So I don't know, maybe 5 stars by the end of this. Well, so if I get 6 more of these, that's 30. Actually should just buy one more pack, because otherwise we just under 5 stars at the end of the marquee. So yeah, so all right, so he'll be 5 stars at the end. Fine by me, I guess. And that's only first time. I guess I could get these each day, but nah. I'm not really fighting for that anymore. My time has passed. So gearing up for another Cairo season. We have matchmaking done. I haven't looked at who I'm facing. I feel like I played this person before, and I don't recognize anyone else, but always a challenge. uh, all we're using is this set. So it's like I don't have to change too much for my defensive settings. Really close to red crate right now. Conquest. Only things that I don't need to do that because I got Booming Voice on its own earlier. I need to just do a few more feats, and then I'm golden. Like this one, that'll give me 10. I need 27. So summon Sector 3, I'll get that, and then I'll just probably run around, grab a couple of boss feats, so just not too much to handle. I mean, Conquest on the main account is just kind of like, it's not relaxing, it's like a mad dash, usually, to get to the end of Sector 4 and farm some Datacrons before the old set expires, but I didn't really, I knew I couldn't spend down to where it wouldn't waste any data cache, so I didn't rush anyway, and I have this whole set, so wasn't too worried. And I think that's it for this count. Like, that's mostly what's going on. There's like, it's kind of cutting edge, but not absolute cutting edge. Like, I don't get all the brand new stuff. I am gonna switch this team out soon, but well, actually, let's try to get at least 14.5 million before signing off for this. Tuscan Chieftain. No, let's do a pilot. That would probably get more GP. So, crew member. That's where it is. Who is most favorable to upgrade? I guess Kanan might be. I know L3 has a ship, and she was on my list. So, how much do I get for this with the ship? Hey, there we go. 14.5 million. So now that'll do it for this one. 14.5 million GP. Seems crazy, but, you know, blink an eye, I'll be at 15 million. That's halfway from 10 to 20, which is just ridiculous. But anyway, that'll do it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye.